You will be hunters.
Of our fans? Let's send those.
I can destroy the hunters.
Yeah, this plane's trashed.
Whole life spinning lies, but you can't hide, baby. Nice try.
What happens when dazzling K-pop idols trade the stage lights for moonlit battles against demons? Kpop Demon Hunters isn't just another action fantasy, it's a high-energy fusion of music, myth, and mayhem. Today on Hidden Real Facts, we're diving deep into the secrets, behind-the-scenes stories, and hidden details you might have missed. Kpop Demon Hunters is a 2025 American animated musical urban fantasy film directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Danya Jimenez and Hannah Mkin, based on a story by Kang. The movie was produced by Sony Pictures Animation for Netflix and features the voices of Arden Cho, An Hyo Sop, Mei Hong, Ji Young-yu, Yeonjin Kim, Daniel Dae Kim, Kan Jang, and Lee Byung-hun. The story follows a K-pop girl group called Contatc, who live double lives as demon hunters. They face a dangerous rival boy band known as the Saja Boys, whose members turn out to be demons in disguise. The idea for Kpop Demon Hunters came from Kang's wish to create a story inspired by her Korean roots. She combined parts of mythology, demon stories, and K-pop culture to shape a film that looks unique and stays connected to Korean traditions. News of the movie being in production at Sony Pictures Animation was confirmed in March 2021, with the creative team already working together. Animation was handled by Sony Pictures Imageworks, and the film's style was inspired by concert lights, photography, music videos, anime, and Korean dramas. The soundtrack includes original songs from various artists, along with their musical score composed by Marcello Zarvos. Kpop Demon Hunters started streaming on Netflix on June 20, 2025. A special sing-along version of the film was also shown in theaters for 2 days, from August 23 to 24, 2025. The movie was highly praised for its animation, visuals, voice acting, writing, and music, with many calling it a cultural phenomenon. It went on to become the most-watched original Netflix release of all time with 266 million views. The sing-along version also made history as the widest release ever for a Netflix movie in theaters and became the first to reach #1 at the U.S. box office, surpassing Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, 2022. The soundtrack gained huge success as well, topping music and streaming charts around the world and becoming the first movie soundtrack on the Billboard Hot 100 to place 4 songs in the top 10. A sequel is currently in development. The casting process, blending K-pop stardom with supernatural depth. The selection of voice talent for K-pop Demon Hunters began in early 2022. Shortly after Sony Pictures Animation greenlit the project under Netflix's distribution banner, directors Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, drawing from their experiences in animated features like Wish Dragon and Wolfwalkers, sought actors who could embody the dual worlds of glittering K-pop stages and shadowy demon realms. The casting call emphasized performers with musical backgrounds, particularly those versed in Asian diaspora experiences, to authentically capture the film's fusion of high-energy choreography, emotional ballads, and visceral action sequences. Over 500 auditions were held virtually and in person across Los Angeles, Seoul, and Toronto, with the focus on chemistry reads for the core trio of Contatc. This rigorous process ensured that each voice not only conveyed raw emotion but also harmonized in the film's original soundtrack, composed by a team including 21 Savage and Megan Thee Stallion collaborators. Arden Cho's journey to voicing Rumi, the conflicted leader of Contatc, exemplifies the serendipity and persistence that define the casting. Born on August 16, 1985, in Amarillo, Texas, to Korean immigrant parents, Cho grew up navigating the complexities of identity in a predominantly white Kansas suburb before relocating to Minnesota. Her early interest in psychology at the University of Minnesota led her to theater, where she discovered a passion for performance that blended vulnerability with strength. Cho's breakout came with her role as Kira Yukimura in MTV's Teen Wolf, 2014-2016, where she portrayed a Kitsuneya fox spirit from Japanese folklore, infusing the character with a quiet veracity that mirrored Umi's internal struggle. This role, which required her to wield a katana in supernatural battles, directly paralleled the demon-hunting action in K-pop, Demon Hunters, where Rumi brandishes a sanjum, a traditional Korean spirit sword forged from enchanted jade. During auditions, Cho initially read for Celine, the grizzled mentor figure, delivering a monologue laced with world-weary wisdom. However, co-director Maggie Kang, impressed by Cho's innate vulnerability, pivoted her toward Rumi. Arden has this incredible range as she can belt a K-pop hook like she's headlining Coachella, then drop into a whisper that breaks your heart, Kang recalled in a 2025 Tudum interview. Cho's preparation involved months of vocal coaching with K-pop trainers from SM Entertainment affiliates, learning to layer her natural mezzo-soprano with the precise, emotive phrasing of idols like Hu. For Rumi's arc from a poised frontwoman hiding demonic heritage to a self-accepting warrior, Cho drew from personal experiences of cultural shame, including her own battles with industry typecasting as the exotic sidekick. In booth sessions, she improvised scenes of Rumi's voice cracking during rehearsals, a nod to the character's literal loss of song due to supernatural curse, which resonated deeply with the animators. Cho's casting not only brought authenticity to Rumi's South Korean-American duality but also elevated the film's soundtrack. Her rendition of Golden, the group's debut single, features ad-libs inspired by her Teen Wolf banshee screams, blending pop gloss with eerie undertones. Mei Hong's portrayal of Myra, the rebellious visual of Hunter X, adds a layer of visual artistry and unapologetic edge to the ensemble. Born October 24, 1988, in Busan, South Korea, Hong immigrated to New York at age 5, where she honed her creative eye at the Rhode Island School of Design, RISD, majoring in printmaking and illustration. Her transition to modeling in the early 2010s catapulted her into high fashion, strutting runways for Gucci, Marc Jacobs, and Ecosplata, while her acting resumed burgeoned with indie gems like High Maintenance, 2016-2020, and Hacks, 2021-present. Hong's Myra is the black sheep of a Chaebol dynasty, wielding a Gokto pole in fights and channeling her frustration into explosive dance breaks. The character's tough facade masking fierce loyalty mirrored Hong's own life via balancing elite art school expectations with the grit of Brooklyn's underground scene. Casting director Leslie Wu, known for Turning Red, scouted Hong at a 2022 New York Fashion Week after-party, where she was spotted freestyling choreography to Blackpink tracks. Hong's audition tape, a self-shot video of her reciting Myra's lines while shadowboxing with a broom, sealed the deal. May doesn't just voice Myra, she moves her, Apple Hands noted in a Variety feature. To prepare, Hong collaborated with martial arts choreographer Filipino Martinez, incorporating taekwondo spins into her vocal delivery for fight scenes. Her Brooklyn accent subtly infuses Myra's raps, adding a streetwise bite to lines like "We don't boat the shadows, we burn 'em down." Hong's artistic background influenced the production. She contributed concept sketches for Myra's stage outfits, blending hanbok silhouettes with cyberpunk flair. In interviews, Hong has discussed how voicing Myra allowed her to explore generational trauma, drawing parallels to her family's post-immigration hustle. Her chemistry read with Cho and Yu was electric, with the trio's improv session birthing an unscripted banter sequence that made the final cut, underscoring Myra's role as the group's emotional anchor amid supernatural chaos. Ji Young-yu, the fresh-faced Maknae rapper Zoe, brings youthful exuberance and raw lyricism to Hunter/X's dynamic. At just 26, born January 1, 1999, under her birth name Sun Hee-seo, Yu exploded onto the scene with her debut in Netflix's Moxie, 2021, playing a punk rock instigator in a high school rebellion, a USC dropout. She earned a Gotham nomination for her turn in Expats, 2024, showcasing a vulnerability that belies her bold on-screen persona. Zoe's character, the group's lyricist grappling with Korean-American identity, fights demons with dual nunchaku and pens razor-sharp bars that expose supernatural threats. Used selection stemmed from a viral TikTok clip of her rapping over BTS's Dynamite in a USC dorm, which caught the eye of Netflix's talent scouts. The audition process for You was grueling, involving 3 rounds, a cold read, a freestyle cypher with B8 boxers, and a group sing-along with Cho and Hong. Ji-young walked in with this infectious energy like she could hype a stadium or console a friend in the same breath. Whoosh shared. Yu's preparation included shadowing K-pop trainees in Seoul for 2 weeks, absorbing the pressure of survival shows like Produce 101. For Zoe's arc, which explores belonging through a subplot of cultural code switching, Yu infused personal anecdotes from her bi-coastal upbringing, including code switching between English and Korean at family gatherings. Her vocal style rapid-fire delivery with a slight SoCal lilt shines in Takedown, the track meant to unmask the Saja boys, where she layers multi-track verses that echo Megan Thee Stallion's flow. Yu's casting highlights the film's commitment to Gen Z voices. Her post-recording vlogs, shared on Instagram, reveal booth bloopers where she nails Zoe's awkward first demon kill, blending humor with horror. This authenticity has positioned Yu as a rising star, with whispers of a Stranger Things spin-off role in the works. And Hyosop's enigmatic turn as Jinyu, the tragic leader of rival boy band Saja Boys, injects brooding charisma and moral ambiguity into the antagonist lineup. Born April 17, 1995, in Seoul but raised in Toronto's multicultural mosaic, Anne's path from JYP Entertainment trainee to K-drama heartthrob is a tale of reinvention. Debuting as an idol in 2015 with JYP's boy group before pivoting to acting, he captivated global audiences with Romantic Leans and Business Proposal, 2022, and Dr. Romantic, 2016. A present, Jinyu, a former human damned to demonhood after a Faustian bargain for vocal fame, leads Saja Boys in a plot to siphon fans' souls via addictive tracks like Soda Pop. Anne's velvety baritone and subtle inflections make Jinyu's redemption arc from manipulative seducer to sacrificial hero palpably heartbreaking. Anne was cast after a Seoul callback in late 2022, where he dueled the mock battle with Cho, his chemistry crackling like a forbidden duet. Hyosop understands the cost of fame he lived it as a trainee, Kang explained, citing his ability to convey Jinyu's guilt-ridden whispers. Preparation involved throat training to simulate the manic resonance, achieved through consultations with vocal therapists specializing in K-pop's high notes, and drew from his own exile from idol life, channeling it into Jinyu's confession scene, where he reveals abandoning his family for stardom. His Toronto Korean accent adds layers to Jinyu's human flashbacks, grounding the fantasy in relatable immigrant longing. In press junkets, Anne has teased Jinyu's graying morality, comparing him to Squid Game's underdog villains, and his casting bridges K-drama fandom with animation, boosting the film's Asian market buzz. Lee Byung-hun's commanding presence as Gwema, the soul-devouring demon lord, anchors the film's villainy with operatic menace. At 55, born July 12, 1970, in Seoul, Lee is South Korea's cinematic titan, with credits spanning Joint Security Area, 2000, to Hollywood blockbusters like G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, 2009, and The Magnificent Seven, 2016. His chameleon-like versatility as suave spy one moment, ruthless warlord the next made him the unanimous choice for Gwema, a millennia-old entity who manipulates voices to enslave demons and humans alike. The casting was swiftly, fresh off Squid Game Season 2, accepted after a single Zoom read. His gravelly timbre evoking ancient curses. Byung-hun doesn't just voice evil, he is the echo that lingers, Apple Hens praised. To embody Gwema's polyphonic roars layered with choral distortions, Lee worked with sound designer Randy Tom, The Incredibles, experimenting with Korean pansori techniques for wailing solos. Drawing from his I Saw the Devil, 2010, psycho role, Lee infused Gwema with paternal cruelty, twisting Rumi's heritage into a weapon. His performance elevates key scenes, like the trance-inducing finale, where Guima's laughter harmonizes with Soulja Boy's beats. Lee's Hollywood crossover appeal helped secure A-list buys, and his on-set anecdote as shared in a 2025 interview revealed how he mentored younger cast on sustaining intensity over long sessions. Kim Yeonjun's nuanced voicing of Celine, the battle-scarred mentor, provides maternal gravitas and hidden sorrows. Born November 7, 1973, in Seoul and raised in New York, Yeonjun rose to fame as Sun Hwa-kwon in Lost, 2004-2010, earning an Emmy nod for her portrayal of a resilient survivor. Her subsequent roles in Mistresses, 2013-2016, and The Resident, 2018-2023, showcased a quiet intensity perfect for Celine, who raised Rumi while concealing her own demon-hunting scars and the truth of Rumi's lineage. Yeonjun auditioned via self-tape from London, where she was filming a West End play, delivering Celine's refusal to mercy-kill Rumi with shattering restraint. Yeonjun captures the weight of unspoken love. Wu noted, preparation included hand-month script readings to infuse Celine's lore dumps with poetic cadence, and Yeonjun collaborated with dialect coach Eric Langvall to blend her Queen's accent with formal Korean. Her Lost experience informed Celine's arc of atonement, paralleling Sun's island isolation. In Booth, Yeonjun's tears during reconciliation scenes influenced animation tweaks, adding subtle tremors to Celine's hands. Her casting underscores the film's theme of intergenerational healing, with Yeonjun advocating for more complex Asian maternal roles in the 2025 Hollywood Reporter Roundtable. Ken Jeong's comedic confusion as manager Kang, Hunter/X's exasperated handler, lightens the supernatural stakes with chaotic energy. Born July 13, 1969, in Detroit to Korean parents, Jeong's MD from UNC Chapel Hill gave way to stand-up, exploding with Knocked Up, 2007, and The Hangover Trilogy, 2009-2013. His unhinged doctor roles evolved into heartfelt chaos in Community, 2009-2015, and Dr. Ken, 2015-2016. Jeong was cast after a hilarious cold read where he ad-libbed Kang dodging a demon portal with "Not today, Satana, I've got a schedule." Ken brings the absurdity that K-pop's glamour needs. Kang laughed. He prepped by binge-watching Produce 48, mimicking managers' frantic pep talks. Jeong's riffs, like Kang's "This Comeback's Cursed," literally pepper the script, balancing horror with hilarity. His real-life friendship with Daniel Dae Kim added improv gold to ensemble scenes. Jeong's role highlights Asian comedy's evolution, from stereotype to savvy satire. Daniel Dae Kim's authoritative timbre as Elder Han, a council demon hunter, lends institutional weight. Born August 4, 1968, in Busan and raised in Pennsylvania, Kim's career spans Lost as Jin Kwanta Hawaii 5-0. 2010-2020, as Chin Ho Kelly. His production company, 3AD, champions Asian stories. Kim joined after a director's pitch emphasizing Han's moral dilemmas. Daniel's voice commands respect and regret, April Han said. He studied shamanic chants for Han's barrier rituals, drawing from Lost's survival ethos. Kim's advocacy influenced Han's arc, critiquing hunter bureaucracy. His chemistry with Lee elevates council clashes. Joel Kim boosters sly wit as Soulja Boy member Kai brings boy band sleaze to the villains. Born February 2, 1988, in Jeju, adopted in Colorado, Booster's stand-up led to Scream Queens, 2015-2016, and Fire Island, 2022, where he queered Pride and Prejudice. Booster's Audition, a lip-sync battle with demonic growls, one laughs. He channeled Shank is banter for Kai's flirtatious traps. Booster's queer perspective adds subtext to Soulja Boy's fan manipulation, enriching the film's inclusivity. Liza Koshy's bubbly chaos as fan-turned-sidekick Luna injects millennial relatability. Born March 21, 1996, in California to a Pentecostal mom and Indian dad, Koshy's YouTube fame, 13 million subscribers, transitioned to work at 2020, and Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, 2023. Kashi was scouted via Vine clips where read for Luna's conspiracy rants was viral worthy. She prepped with K-pop stan Twitter dives, voicing Luna's demon lore TikToks. Kashi's energy bridges fan and fighter, her laughs punctuating horror beats. HiddenReelFacts, a rising K-pop vocalist, provides singing bubbles for Hunter, extracts her ethereal highs elevating Golden. Signed to a Sony subsidiary, HiddenReelFacts Islandsten showcased her idol Polish. The supporting ensemble, including uncredited Soja Boys voices, was rounded out with K-pop trainees for authenticity. Casting wrapped in 2023, with reshoots for Anne's key scenes. This voice lineup not only powers the narrative but harmonizes the film's cultural symphony, making K-pop Demon Hunters a landmark in animated diversity. Deep dive into audition dynamics and chemistry builds. The chemistry reads for Hunter X were pivotal, held in a Burbank studio mimicking a K-pop practice room with mirrored walls and thumping bass. Cho, Hong, and you arrived in casual at leisure, but the session escalated to full choreography under dance coach Brian Friedman. So you think you can dance? They tackled a mock performance of Takedown, ad-libbing harmonies while fighting invisible demons with prop weapons. It was like Pitch Perfect meets John Wick, Cho joked in a YouTube behind-the-scenes clip. The trio's natural rapport, Hong's teasing jabs that use baby sister energy, balanced by Cho's steady leadership and mirrored their characters, leading to immediate lock-in. For the Soja Boys, Anne led a group audition with 4 unknowns, later filled by booster and trainees, simulating a rival showcase. Their soda pop rehearsal devolved into playful sabotage, with Anne accidentally stepping on cues, fostering the band's tense camaraderie. Directors noted Anne's ability to shift from ally to foe in split-second reads, crucial for Jinyu's betrayal twist. Supporting roles like Jang's manager Kang involved improv workshops with the full cast, where he managed chaotic group scenes, like a demon incursion during a wardrobe fitting. Jang's unscripted linear girls saved the slaying for the stage. Became a trailer staple. Kim Yeonjun's Solen sessions paired her with Cho for mentor-mentee dynamics, exploring Rumi's outbursts through multiple takes, each more raw. Yeonjun's feedback on cultural nuances, like Celine's Han, untranslatable Korean sorrow, refined the dialogue. Lee Byung-hun's Gwama booth was isolated, with actors reacting to his off-mic roars for authenticity. His sessions with Anne delved into paternal manipulation, drawing from Korean folklore where demons pose as ancestors. Boosters Kai Reed's included queer-coded flirtations with Yoo Soo-hee, adding fan service layers without caricature. The process wasn't without challenges. COVID delays pushed virtual auditions, but Zoom fatigue was offset by virtual K-pop concerts for inspiration. Diversity consultants ensured equitable representation, with Wu prioritizing uppy talent amid 2022's #Stop Asian Hate momentum. Budget constraints limited in-person callbacks, but the result was a cast whose voices interlocked like a perfectly synced choreo. Actor preparations, from vocal boot camps to supernatural immersion. Each actor underwent tailored prep to bridge K-pop's precision with animation's exaggeration. Cho's vocal boot camp, led by coach Michelle Forbes, focused on demon raspy husky edge for cursed scene as a while maintaining beltable highs for concerts. She journaled Rumi's demon diary, fictional entries exploring shame, which informed her line deliveries. Hong dove into pole arm training, her wrist sketches evolving into Myra's weapon designs, and studied Black Swan for the dancer's psyche. Use rap workshops with 8 Mile-inspired coach King Was Hone Zoe's bars, incorporating bilingual freestyles to reflect her hyphenated identity. Anne's immersion included a week in Jeju shaman villages, learning gut, shamanic rituals, to voice Jinyu's soul-packed torment. He co-wrote a demo for Soda Pop, infusing his trainee-era hooks. Lee's Gwima prep involved voice modulation with a laryngologist, achieving multi-octave shifts, and reading The Exorcist for demonic psychology. Yeonjun's Celine work featured therapy sessions on adoptive parenting, paralleling her lost maternal arcs. Chang shadowed real K-pop managers at Hybe, picking up frantic jargon, while Kim consulted historian friends for Han's lore accuracy. Boosters Kai prep included drag queen vocal lessons for seductive purrs, and Kashi's Luna drew from her Vine conspiracy skits, amplified with our filters for animation sync. Soundtrack integration was key. The cast recorded in isolated booths but later harmonized live for group numbers, with the JE overdubbing highs. This prep not only honed performances but fostered bonds, like groupie chats sharing K-drama rics. Impact of casting on production and themes. The cast's star power influenced animation shows. Expressive reads prompted more facial close-ups for Rumi's micro-expressions, while Hong's physicality expanded Myra's fight choreography. And K-drama pull secured BTS-level marketing tie-ins, including Hunter X merch collabs. Lee's gravitas elevated Guima's design from cartoonish to Lovecraftian, with tendril shadows reacting to his voice. Thematically, the casting amplifies identity exploration. Cho and Dan's diaspora experiences ground a human-demon divide in real microaggressions, like Rumi's heritage reveal echoing anti-Asian hate. Hong and Yu's generational clash in Hunter X mirrors K-pop's youth exploitation critiques. Yeonjun and Kim's elder roles challenge Tiger Mom tropes, portraying nuanced guidance. Chang and Booster add levity, subverting model minority myths through chaos and queerness. Kashi's Luna democratizes heroism, showing fans as allies. Post-production voice matches drove rescores. For instance, the Idol Awards betrayal scene was retuned after Lee's Guima translated with Soulja Boy's auto-tune, creating dissonant pop horror. The cast's promotional tour from Comic-Con panels to Seoul fan meets has grossed millions in pre-release hype, with Cho and Dan's duet covers going viral. Legacy of the Voices, interviews and fan reactions. In a 2025 Collider Roundtable, Cho reflected on Rumi's self-acceptance. It's for every kid hiding parts of themselves on stage. Hong praised the sisterhood. Myra's rebellion is my art, a messy, beautiful, unbreakable. You highlighted belonging. Zoe's raps are my therapy, spitting truth over beats. And delved into Jinyu. He's the idol who sold his soul. What if that was me? Lee on Guima, evil isn't monstrous, it's the voice in your head saying you're not enough. Yeonjun on Celine, mentorship is messy love, not perfection. Chang quipped on Kang, I'm the dad who packs lunches for demon fights. Kim on Han, tradition must evolve, or it traps us. Booster on Kai, sleaze with heart, a K-pop's dark side. Kashi on Luna, stands save the day were the real MVPs. Fan reactions on X and TikTok exploded post-trailer, with #voice of Huntrix trending. Clips of Cho's golden teaser garnered 50 views, sparking covers by real idols like New Jeans. And Jinu thirst traps fueled ship edits, while Hong's Myra fine art floods deviant art. The cast's diversity spanning generations, sexualities, and heritage has sparked discourse on inclusive animation, with GLAAD praising Booster's role. This voice ensemble doesn't just narrate K-pop, Demon Hunters, it sings the soul of a generation caught between spotlights and shadows, proving casting can conjure magic. Kpop Demon Hunters, from concept to cultural phenomenon. Production. The production journey of Kpop Demon Hunters represents one of the most ambitious animated projects undertaken by Sony Pictures Animation in recent years. The film emerged from a unique collaboration between Sony Pictures Animation and Netflix, marking a significant milestone in the streaming platform's original animated content strategy. This partnership brought together two powerhouses of entertainment production, combining Sony's proven expertise in high-quality animation with Netflix's global distribution network and commitment to diverse storytelling. The production team assembled for Kpop Demon Hunters was deliberately diverse and internationally focused, reflecting the global nature of both K-pop culture and the film's intended audience. Producer Michelle Wong, who had previously worked on Sony Pictures Animation's acclaimed Vivo, brought her expertise in musical animation to the project. Wong's previous experience with Lin-Manuel Miranda's music and Vivo proved invaluable in understanding how to integrate complex musical sequences with animated storytelling. Her role extended beyond traditional producing duties, as she worked closely with the creative team to ensure authentic representation of K-pop culture while maintaining the fantastical elements of the demon hunting narrative. Aaron Warner, another key producer on the project, contributed his extensive experience in animated feature films to help guide the production through its complex development phases. Warner's involvement ensured that the film maintained the high production standards expected from Sony Pictures Animation while pushing creative boundaries in terms of visual style and musical integration. The production team also included ImageWorks, Sony's sister studio specializing in visual effects and animation technology, which provided crucial technical expertise for the film's more complex action sequences and demon transformation scenes. The voice cast recruitment process was particularly intensive, given the need to find performers who could authentically represent K-pop culture while delivering strong dramatic performances. The casting of Arden Cho, and Hyo Sop, Mei Hong, and Ji Young-yu as the core members of the fictional girl group Hunter X required extensive auditions and screen tests to ensure chemistry between the performers. Each voice actor needed to demonstrate not only traditional voice acting skills but also the ability to perform K-pop style vocals and capture the energy and precision that defines the genre. Supporting cast members including Yeonjin Kim, Daniel Dae Kim, Kan Jang, and Lee Byung-hun brought additional gravitas and comedic timing to the production. The inclusion of established actors from both Korean and Korean-American entertainment industries helped legitimize the project within these communities while ensuring authentic cultural representation. The casting process took over 8 months, with multiple rounds of auditions conducted both in Los Angeles and Seoul to find the perfect combination of vocal talent and cultural authenticity. The animation production pipeline for Kpop Demon Hunters incorporated cutting-edge technology specifically adapted for the film's unique visual requirements. The production team developed new rendering techniques to capture the glossy, high-energy aesthetic associated with K-pop music videos while maintaining the dynamic action sequences required for the demon hunting storyline. This involved creating custom shaders and lighting systems that could seamlessly transition between the glamorous performance world and the darker supernatural combat scenarios. Color palette development became a crucial aspect of the production design, with the team creating distinct visual languages for different aspects of the story. The K-pop performance sequences featured vibrant, saturated colors with dynamic lighting effects that mimic real concert environments, while the demon hunting scenes employed darker, more contrasted palettes with strategic use of neon highlights to maintain visual continuity. This dual aesthetic approach required extensive pre-production work and the development of specialized animation tools that could handle the rapid transitions between these different visual modes. The production timeline spanned approximately 3.5 years from initial concept to final delivery, which is relatively standard for a high-quality animated feature but compressed given the complexity of the musical and action elements. The team worked in overlapping phases, with pre-production, production, and post-production running simultaneously for different sequences throughout the latter half of the schedule. This approach allowed for continuous refinement of the visual style and musical integration while maintaining the overall production momentum. Budget considerations played a significant role in shaping the production approach, with Netflix's investment allowing for higher production values than typical for direct-to-streaming animated features. The streaming platform's commitment to the project enabled the production team to pursue more ambitious visual effects and musical arrangements than would have been possible with a more constrained budget. This financial backing also allowed for extensive research and development phases, including trips to Seoul for Call 2. Quality control throughout the production process involved multiple review stages with both Sony Pictures Animation executives and Netflix content leadership. The streaming platform's global perspective influenced many production decisions, ensuring that the film would resonate with international audiences while maintaining its cultural specificity. Regular screenings with focus groups from various demographic backgrounds helped shape the final product, particularly in balancing the K-pop elements with the supernatural action storyline in ways that would appeal to viewers unfamiliar with either genre. Development and pre-production. The conceptual genesis of Kpop Demon Hunters can be traced to director Maggie Kang's desire to create a unique animated film that would blend her personal interests in supernatural storytelling with contemporary pop culture phenomena. Contrary to what many might assume, Kang has revealed that K-pop was actually the last element incorporated into the concept, with the initial idea focusing on a group of young women leading double lives as supernatural warriors. The K-pop framework was subsequently chosen as the perfect vehicle for exploring themes of identity, performance, and the pressures of public life while providing a dynamic visual and musical foundation for the action sequences. The development process began in earnest in March 2021 when Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhens were officially attached to direct the project for Sony Pictures Animation. Appelhens brought significant experience from his previous work on Sony's Wish Dragon, providing expertise in cross-cultural storytelling and animation techniques. The partnerships between Kang and Appelhens proved crucial in balancing the distinctly Korean cultural elements with broader international appeal, ensuring that the film would resonate with global audiences while maintaining cultural authenticity. Early concept development focused heavily on world building, as the creative team needed to establish a universe where the glamorous world of K-pop could coexist with supernatural demon hunting activities. This required extensive research into both Korean pop culture and various mythological traditions that could provide a foundation for the demon antagonists. The team consulted with cultural experts, musicologists, and even practicing shamans to develop a supernatural mythology that would feel both fresh and rooted in authentic cultural traditions. Character development for the main protagonists proved particularly complex, as each member of Hunter X needed to function effectively both as a K-pop performer and as a demon hunter. The creative team developed detailed backstories for each character that explained their recruitment into both the entertainment industry and the Supernatural Protection Organization. These backstories were crafted to reflect real challenges faced by K-pop performers, including intense training regimens, public scrutiny, and the pressure to maintain perfect public personas, while adding the additional layer of secret supernatural responsibilities. The antagonist design process required careful consideration to avoid cultural stereotypes while creating genuinely threatening supernatural enemies. The decision to make the primary antagonists a rival boy band of demons in disguise added both dramatic tension and comedic opportunities while maintaining the film's focus on the entertainment industry. This concept allowed the writers to explore themes of rivalry, jealousy, and the dark side of fame while providing spectacular action sequences built around musical performances and supernatural combat. Visual development during pre-production involved creating comprehensive style guides that would govern every aspect of the film's appearance. The art team developed distinctive looks for the human and demon characters, the various performance venues, the supernatural combat locations, and the everyday environments where the characters lived their double lives. Particular attention was paid to costume design, as the characters needed to look authentic as K-pop performers while also being practical for action sequences. This led to the development of transformative costume concepts that could seamlessly shift from performance attire to battle gear. The music development process began during pre-production, with the creative team working closely with composers and K-pop industry professionals to create original songs that would serve both narrative and entertainment purposes. Each musical number needed to advance the plot while also functioning as standalone entertainment that could appeal to K-pop fans. This dual purpose required careful coordination between the music team, the animation directors, and the story development group to ensure that musical sequences felt integral to the narrative rather than inserted for purely commercial reasons. Storyboard development for Kpop Demon Hunters was particularly intensive due to the complex choreography required for both musical performances and action sequences. The team created detailed animatics for every major sequence, with particular attention paid to the pacing and rhythm of musical numbers and their integration with dialogue and action. These animatics served as crucial planning tools for the later animation phases, allowing the directors to refine timing and staging before committing to final animation. Location design presented unique challenges, as the film needed to convincingly portray both the glamorous world of K-pop entertainment and the hidden supernatural realm where demon hunting takes place. The design team created detailed environments ranging from high-tech recording studios and massive concert venues to mystical demon lairs and urban battlegrounds. Each location required careful consideration of how it would function both visually and narratively, supporting the dual nature of the characters' lives while providing dynamic settings for the various set pieces. Technology development during pre-production focused on creating animation tools and techniques that could handle the film's unique requirements. This included developing new systems for animating dance sequences that would match the precision and energy of real K-pop choreography, as well as special effects systems for the supernatural elements. The technical team also needed to create workflows that could efficiently handle the frequent transitions between the realistic performance world and the more fantastical demon hunting sequences. Voice acting preparation began during pre-production, with extensive coaching provided to help the cast members develop their characters' distinct personalities and relationships. This was particularly important given that the voice actors needed to portray both the public personas of successful K-pop performers and the private personalities of supernatural warriors. The coaching process included work with dialect coaches, singing instructors, and even martial arts consultants to help the performers understand all aspects of their characters' double lives. Research and development during pre-production included extensive study of actual K-pop industry practices, from training methods and performance techniques to industry structure and fan culture. The creative team consulted with former K-pop performers, industry executives, and cultural critics to ensure accurate representation of the industry's complexities and challenges. This research informed everything from character dialogue and behavior to the portrayal of fan interactions and media coverage within the film's narrative. The pre-production phase also involved developing the film's unique visual language for depicting supernatural elements. The team created a consistent aesthetic for demon transformations, magical combat, and overworldly environments that would complement rather than clash with the realistic K-pop performance sequences. This required extensive experimentation with different artistic approaches and effects techniques to find the perfect balance between fantastical spectacle and narrative coherence. Marketing and merchandising considerations influenced many pre-production decisions, as the team recognized the potential for the film to spawn music releases, merchandise lines, and other commercial tie-ins. Character designs were developed with these possibilities in mind, ensuring that the protagonists would be appealing and marketable while maintaining their narrative functionality. The music creation process also considered the potential for soundtrack releases and live performance opportunities that could extend the film's commercial life beyond its initial release. Filming while Kpop Demon Hunters is an animated film and therefore doesn't involve traditional live-action filming. The production process included several phases that served similar functions to conventional cinematography. The most significant of these was the extensive motion capture sessions used to record the complex dance choreography and action sequences that would later be translated into animation. These sessions required careful planning and execution to capture the precise movements and energy that would define the film's most spectacular sequences. Motion capture filming took place over several months at specialized facilities in both Los Angeles and Seoul, allowing the production team to work with authentic K-pop choreographers and dancers. The Seoul sessions were particularly important for capturing the specific movement vocabulary and performance style that defines contemporary K-pop, ensuring that the animated characters would move with the precision and flair expected by genre fans. Professional K-pop backup dancers were hired to perform the choreography, with their movements serving as the foundation for the main characters' animated performances. The motion capture process required sophisticated technical setup, with multiple high-resolution cameras positioned to record movement from every angle. Special attention was paid to capturing subtle details of hand movements, facial expressions, and the precise timing that makes K-pop choreography so distinctive. The technical team developed custom software tools to process this captured data and translate it into animation-friendly formats while preserving the essential energy and character of the original performances. Action sequence filming involved a different approach, combining traditional stunt coordination with motion capture technology to create dynamic supernatural combat scenes. Professional martial artists and stunt performers worked with the directors to develop fight choreography that would be both visually exciting and narratively appropriate. These sessions required extensive rehearsal and multiple takes to capture different angles and variations that could be combined during the animation process. The voice recording sessions functioned as another form of filming, requiring careful coordination to capture not only dialogue but also the musical performances that form the core of the film's entertainment value. These recording sessions took place in professional studios equipped with the latest audio technology, allowing for high-quality capture of both spoken dialogue and complex musical numbers. The singers needed to perform multiple takes of each song, providing the sound team with various options that could be combined to create the perfect final versions. Reference filming was conducted throughout the production process, with the creative team shooting footage of real K-pop performances, behind-the-scenes industry activities, and various locations that would inform the animated environments. This reference material was crucial for ensuring authenticity in the final animation, providing the artists with detailed visual information about everything from stage lighting effects to the way crowds moved during live performances. The team also filmed interviews with K-pop industry professionals, gathering insights that would inform character development and plot details. Virtual cinematography techniques were employed during the animation process, using sophisticated camera simulation software to create dynamic and engaging visual sequences. This approach allowed the directors to experiment with different shot compositions, camera movements, and editing rhythms without the constraints of physical camera equipment. The virtual cinematography team developed innovative techniques for capturing the energy of live musical performances while also creating cinematic action sequences that would rival live-action films. The recording of scratch voice tracks served as an early form of performance filming, allowing the directors to test pacing, timing, and character interactions before committing to final animation. These preliminary recordings were often done with temporary performers or even the directors themselves, providing a foundation for timing and rhythm that could guide the animation process. The scratch tracks were particularly important for the musical sequences, where precise timing between vocals and animation was crucial for the final product's success. Facial capture sessions represented another specialized form of filming, focusing specifically on capturing the subtle expressions and emotional nuances that would bring the animated characters to life. Professional actors performed key emotional scenes while being recorded by higher-resolution facial capture systems, providing animators with detailed reference material for creating believable and engaging character performances. These sessions required multiple takes and different emotional approaches to give animators maximum flexibility in crafting the final character animations. Technical filming included extensive documentation of the production process itself, creating behind-the-scenes content that would later be used for marketing and bonus materials. This documentation filming captured everything from early concept meetings and design sessions to the complex technical processes involved in creating the final animation. The behind-the-scenes material also included interviews with cast and crew members, providing insights into the creative decisions and challenges that shaped the final product. Location scouting, while not involving traditional filming, included extensive photographic and video documentation of potential real-world locations that could inspire the animated environments. The team visited concert venues, recording studios, and urban locations in both Los Angeles and Seoul, creating comprehensive visual libraries that would inform the environmental design process. This location research was crucial for creating authentic feeling animated environments that would support the story's dual reality of entertainment industry glamour and supernatural adventure. The pre-visualization process functioned as a form of preliminary filming, using simple animation and computer graphics to test shot compositions, pacing, and visual flow before committing to final animation. These preview sequences allowed the directors to experiment with different approaches to complex scenes, particularly the elaborate musical numbers and action sequences that required precise coordination between multiple visual elements. The pre-visualization process was iterative, with multiple versions created and refined based on feedback from the creative team and test audiences. Color and lighting tests represented another form of specialized filming, using various techniques to determine the optimal visual approach for different scenes and sequences. The technical team created test animations and renders to experiment with different color palettes, lighting schemes, and visual effects approaches. These tests were crucial for developing the film's distinctive visual style and ensuring consistency across the various environments and emotional tones required by the narrative. Sound design recording sessions complemented the visual filming processes, capturing ambient sounds, sound effects, and atmospheric audio that would enhance the animated sequences. The sound team recorded everything from crowd reactions at actual K-pop concerts to the specific sounds of supernatural combat, building a comprehensive audio library that would support the film's complex soundscape. These recording sessions often involved creative techniques to capture unique sounds that would distinguish the film's supernatural elements from more conventional audio design. Post-production. The post-production phase of Kpop Demon Hunters represented one of the most technically complex and creatively intensive periods of the entire production process. Given the film's unique combination of musical performance, supernatural action, and cultural authenticity requirements, post-production needed to seamlessly integrate multiple specialized teams working on different aspects of the final product. The process began while animation was still ongoing, allowing for parallel development that could accelerate the overall timeline while maintaining quality standards. Animation finishing represented the largest component of post-production work, requiring thousands of hours of detailed work to bring the motion capture performances and storyboard concepts to their final animated form. The animation team at Sony Pictures Animation worked closely with ImageWorks to ensure that character movements maintained the precision and energy of the original K-pop choreography while also supporting the supernatural action sequences. Each frame required individual attention to detail, with animators hand-adjusting captured movements to enhance expressiveness and ensure visual consistency. The rendering process for Kpop Demon Hunters pushed the boundaries of contemporary animation technology, particularly in the creation of the complex lighting and effects required for the musical performance sequences. The technical team developed custom rendering pipelines that could handle the rapid lighting changes, particle effects, and crowd animations that characterize live K-pop performances. These rendering challenges were compounded by the need to maintain visual consistency between the realistic performance world and the more stylized supernatural combat sequences. Visual effects integration became a crucial aspect of post-production, as the film required seamless blending between traditional animation and computer-generated supernatural elements. The effects team created complex transformation sequences showing characters changing from their performer personas to their demon-hunting alter egos, requiring sophisticated morphing and particle effects technology. The demon antagonists required particularly complex visual treatment, with their shape-shifting abilities demanding flexible effects systems that could handle multiple transformation states. Sound design and mixing represented another major post-production challenge, as the film needed to balance dialogue clarity with complex musical arrangements and dynamic sound effects. The sound team worked with specialized music mixing equipment to ensure that the K-pop songs would translate effectively to various playback systems while maintaining their energy and impact. The supernatural action sequences required layered sound design that could convey both the physical reality of combat and the otherworldly nature of the demonic antagonists. Music post-production involved extensive work with both the original song compositions and the integrated score that would support the film's dramatic moments. The music team collaborated closely with K-pop industry professionals to ensure that the songs would meet the genre's high production standards while serving the narrative requirements of the film. Each musical number went through multiple mixing and mastering phases, with particular attention paid to how the music would integrate with dialogue and sound effects during the complex performance sequences. Color grading and visual finishing required careful coordination to maintain the film's distinctive visual palette across all sequences and environments. The colorists developed custom looks for different types of scenes, from the vibrant, high-contrast aesthetic of the K-pop performances to the darker, more atmospheric treatment of the supernatural combat sequences. This process involved hundreds of hours of detailed work to ensure visual consistency while supporting the emotional arc of the narrative through color and lighting choices. Quality control during post-production involved multiple review phases with both the creative team and Netflix executives, ensuring that the final product would meet both artistic vision and commercial requirements. These review sessions often resulted in revisions and refinements that required additional post-production work, particularly in areas where the balance between cultural authenticity and broad appeal needed adjustment. The iterative nature of this process meant that post-production continued right up until the final delivery deadline. Technical delivery preparation involved creating multiple versions of the film for different distribution platforms and international markets. This included creating versions with different subtitle and dubbing options, as well as technical specifications optimized for streaming delivery through Netflix's global distribution network. The technical team also prepared various marketing materials and bonus content that would accompany the film's release, including behind-the-scenes documentaries and promotional materials for different international markets. The integration of cultural consultation feedback continued throughout post-production, with experts from the Korean entertainment industry reviewing completed sequences to ensure authenticity and cultural sensitivity. These consultations sometimes resulted in significant revisions to dialogue, visual details, or cultural references that had been missed during earlier production phases. The commitment to cultural accuracy meant that post-production took longer than initially planned, but resulted in a final product that was well received by Korean audiences and critics. Audio post-production required specialized expertise in both traditional film sound design and contemporary music production, as the team needed to create a sonic environment that would satisfy both cinema audiences and K-pop music fans. The audio team developed innovative mixing techniques that could highlight the precision and energy of the K-pop performances while maintaining clear dialogue and effective sound effects. The final audio mix was optimized for both streaming delivery and theatrical presentation, ensuring consistent quality across different playback environments. Subtitle and dubbing preparation represented a significant post-production challenge, as the film needed to be accessible to international audiences while preserving the cultural specificity of the original dialogue and sung lyrics. The localization team worked with native speakers of multiple languages to create subtitle translations that would convey both literal meaning and cultural context. Dubbing versions required finding voice actors in different languages who could match the energy and style of the original performances while maintaining lip-sync accuracy. Final delivery and quality assurance involved extensive testing of the completed film across different technical platforms and viewing conditions. The technical team conducted numerous test screenings using different projection and audio systems to ensure consistent quality. The final master files were created in multiple formats to support Netflix's global distribution infrastructure, with each version undergoing rigorous quality control testing before approval for release. Archive and preservation activities during post-production ensured that all production materials would be properly stored for potential future use in sequels, spin-offs, or anniversary releases. The archival team cataloged thousands of hours of production footage, alternative takes, deleted scenes, and production artwork that could be valuable for future projects or special edition releases. This comprehensive archival process also preserved the extensive cultural research and consultation materials that could inform future projects dealing with similar cultural themes. Music. The musical component of Kpop Demon Hunters represents perhaps the most crucial and complex aspect of the entire production, requiring seamless integration of authentic K-pop sensibilities with traditional film scoring techniques. The music team faced the unique challenge of creating songs that would satisfy the high standards of K-pop fans while also serving specific narrative functions within the animated story. This dual requirement necessitated collaboration between Hollywood film composers, Korean music producers, and K-pop industry professionals to achieve the perfect balance of authenticity and cinematic effectiveness. Original song development began during pre-production and continued throughout the production process, with the music team creating over a dozen original compositions specifically for the film. Each song required multiple versions and arrangements to accommodate different scenes and emotional contexts within the narrative. The primary songs performed by the fictional girl group Contatc were crafted to sound like genuine K-pop hits while incorporating lyrical themes that reflected the characters' double lives as both performers and demon hunters. The collaboration with Korean music producers brought authentic industry expertise to the project, ensuring that the musical arrangements, production techniques, and vocal stylings would meet the sophisticated standards expected by K-pop audiences worldwide. These collaborations involved extensive back and forth between the Hollywood-based production team and Seoul-based music professionals, with frequent video conferences and file-sharing sessions to refine each composition to perfection. The Korean producers provided crucial insights into contemporary K-pop trends and production techniques that informed every aspect of the musical creation process. Vocal recording sessions required extensive preparation and coordination, as the voice cast needed to deliver performances that would be convincing as both character dialogue and professional quality K-pop vocals. The recording process involved multiple studios in both Los Angeles and Seoul, with some sessions conducted simultaneously to capture the group dynamics essential to K-pop performance. Professional vocal coaches worked with each cast member to develop the precise vocal techniques and stylistic approaches that would make their performances authentic and engaging. The orchestral score supporting the film's dramatic and action sequences required a different approach, blending traditional symphonic elements with contemporary K-pop production techniques and electronic elements. The composer developed leitmotifs for each main character that could be adapted for both orchestral and pop music contexts, creating musical continuity between the performance scenes and the supernatural action sequences. This approach required sophisticated orchestration techniques that could maintain coherence while supporting the film's genre-blending narrative structure. Sound design integration with the musical elements required careful coordination to ensure that the songs would work effectively within the complex soundscapes of the animated sequences. The sound design team developed techniques for seamlessly transitioning between musical performance and realistic environmental sounds, particularly during the transformation sequences where characters shift from performers to demon hunters. These transitions required precise timing and sophisticated mixing techniques to maintain both musical integrity and narrative coherence. The development of instrumental versions and alternate arrangements provided flexibility for different scenes and international distribution requirements. The music team created karaoke versions, orchestral arrangements, and instrumental variants of each major song, allowing for adaptation to different narrative contexts and cultural markets. These alternate versions proved crucial during the sing-along theatrical release, providing audiences with different ways to engage with the musical content. Recording session logistics proved particularly complex, as the production required coordination between multiple studios, time zones, and creative teams. The music production schedule needed to accommodate the voice actors' other commitments while ensuring adequate time for the multiple takes and arrangement experiments necessary for high-quality results. Professional session musicians were brought in to provide instrumental backing for the songs, adding additional layers of authenticity and professional polish to the final recordings. Mixing and mastering processes employed state-of-the-art technology and techniques from both the film and music industries, ensuring that the songs would translate effectively across different playback systems and environments. The mixing team developed custom approaches for balancing the musical elements with dialogue and sound effects, particularly during the complex performance sequences where multiple audio elements needed to compete for attention. The mastering process created versions optimized for streaming delivery, theatrical presentation, and potential commercial music release. Music supervision involved coordinating the various musical elements with the film's pacing and emotional arc, ensuring that each song would support rather than distract the film's visual design team to ensure that physical products would maintain the quality and aesthetic appeal of the animated content. Educational outreach programs were developed to introduce the film to audiences unfamiliar with K-pop culture, providing context and background information that would enhance viewing experience for newcomers to the genre. Netflix created supplementary educational content, including documentaries about K-pop history and culture, interviews with industry professionals, and behind-the-scenes materials explaining the film's cultural references and significance. The streaming platform's recommendation algorithm was optimized to promote the film to viewers who had demonstrated interest in related content, including other animated features, musical films, and international entertainment. Netflix's sophisticated recommendation system helped ensure that the film would reach audiences beyond the initial K-pop fan base, potentially introducing new viewers to the genre while satisfying existing fans' expectations for authentic representation. International distribution partnerships were established to ensure optimal streaming quality and accessibility in markets with varying internet infrastructure capabilities. Netflix worked with local internet service providers and content delivery networks to optimize streaming performance and minimize buffering or quality issues that could negatively impact viewer experience. This technical preparation was crucial for ensuring positive audience reaction and preventing negative reviews based on technical problems rather than content quality. Theatrical. The theatrical release strategy for Kpop Demon Hunters marked a significant departure from Netflix's traditional direct-to-streaming approach, representing the platform's first major attempt to compete directly with traditional studios in theatrical box office performance. The decision to pursue theatrical release emerged from the film's unexpected popularity on the streaming platform and Netflix's recognition that certain content experiences are enhanced by communal viewing environments. The sing-along version theatrical release represented an innovative approach to film distribution, specifically designed to capture the participatory culture central to K-pop fandom. Netflix developed this special version in response to social media requests from fans who wanted to experience the film's musical numbers in a communal setting where singing along would be encouraged rather than discouraged. The sing-along format included on-screen lyrics, enhanced audio mixing to accommodate audience participation, and special visual cues to guide audience engagement during musical sequences. Venue selection for the theatrical release focused on locations with established K-pop fan communities and previous experience hosting interactive entertainment events. Netflix partnered with theater chains known for specialty programming and alternative content presentation, ensuring that the theatrical experience would meet the expectations of K-pop fans accustomed to high-quality production values and sophisticated presentation. The venue selection process considered factors including sound system quality, audience capacity, and geographic distribution to maximize accessibility for interested fans. A long time ago, demons hunted humans and fed their souls to their ruler, Wama. One day, 3 women rose up as demon hunters. Using their singing voices, they created a magical barrier called the Han Moon. Over the years, new groups of 3 hunters appeared in every generation, working together to strengthen the barrier into the Golden Han Moon, a seal that could keep demons out of the human world forever. In the present day, the K-pop girl group Hunter/Zam made up of Rumi, Myra, and Zoea is the newest trio of demon hunters. They are guided by Celine, a former hunter who raised Rumi herself. After finishing their world tour, Contatc released a new single called Golden and prepare for its first live performance. But Rumi begins to lose her voice because of her secret demon blood, something only Celine knows. Years earlier, Celine told Rumi that if the Han Moon ever turned gold, her demon marks would disappear. Meanwhile, in the demon world, Wama grows furious with his followers' failures. To win, 5 demons led by Jinyu, who was once Humaniform, a K-pop boy band called the Saja Boys. Their plan is to steal Hunter/X's fans, weaken the Han Moon, and in return, Wama will erase Jinyu's human memories. When Hunter/X encounter the Saja Boys at their debut, they quickly realize the group's demonic nature. During a fight, Jinyu sees Rumi's demon marks but chooses to hide this from her teammates. Later, he meets her in secret and explains that demons are trapped by shame, which Wama uses to control them. Jinyu tells her that about 400 years ago, Wama gave him a beautiful singing voice that helped his family escape poverty. But the gift came with a curse. He was dragged into the demon world, and now he lives with guilt for destroying his family's future. As the Idol Awards approach, Hunter/X hurried to create a new song called Takedown to reveal the truth about the Saja Boys, whose popularity is rising fast. But Myra grows suspicious when Rumi questions whether Takedown is too hateful toward demons. Struggling with her dual identity, Rumi suggests a plan to Jinyu. If he helps Hunter X win at the Idol Awards and make their honeymoon stronger, he could remain in the human world. Later, Rumi admits to Jinyu that her shame about being part demon is what weakened her voice. Speaking openly with him helped her heal. Jinyu tells her that, thanks to her, he no longer hears Guima's tormenting voices. He agrees to betray the Saja boys, but Guima calls Jinyu back and reminds him of their deal. He forces Jinyu to face the truth that he abandoned his family for fame and comfort and threatens to bring back the haunting voices unless Jinyu obeys. On the night of the Idol Awards, the Saja boys never appear. Hunter X take the stage to perform Golden, having set aside Takedown because of the conflict it caused. But imposter demons sent by Jinyu separate Rumi from Myra and Zoe. Disguised as her friends, they trick Rumi into performing Takedown. During the performance, they reveal her demon marks to everyone watching. Shocked and ashamed, Rumi runs from the stage. Soon after, she finds the real Myra and Zoe, who feel hurt and betrayed when they learn the truth about her heritage and her connection with Jinyu. When Rumi later confronts Jinyu for deceiving her, he admits that he lied about his past. At the same time, Guima casts a spell on Myra, Zoe, and the audience, drawing them under his control. He plans to use the Saja boys' final performance to completely destroy the honeymoon and escape into the human world. Rumi turns to Selene in despair and begs her to end her life. Selene refuses, offering instead to cover up the truth, but Rumi lashes out, accusing Selene of never truly loving her. Before leaving, at the final performance, Rumi interrupts the Saja boys with a brand new song about overcoming shame and embracing self-acceptance. Her voice breaks Guima's trance over the audience. Reunited, Hunter X fight together to free the crowd. In the battle, Jinyu finally chooses to do the right thing. He sacrifices himself to save Rumi, giving her his restored soul. With this gift, Hunter X gained the strength to defeat Guima and the Saja boys, resealing the demons and creating a brand new honeymoon. Afterward, Rumi accepts her demon marks with pride. She reconciles with Myra and Zoe, and together, they return to their fans in public, stronger than ever as both idols and demon hunters. Number 1 Kpop Demon Hunters not only has unforgettable songs and epic action sequences, but it is gorgeously animated and filled to the brim with heart. If you are a fan of Kpop, you are going to love Kpop Demon Hunters, but even if you aren't, this movie is sure to bring you joy. It is jam-packed with incredible action sequences, catchy songs, and a whole lot of heart. This film follows Kpop superstars Rumi, Myra, and Zoe, who are not just in a band, they track down and destroy demons. Their music is used for the power of good, holding off demons from taking over the entire world. When a strange new pop boy band comes on the scene, the Saja boys, they start to take away from Hunter/X's popularity. A lot is at stake. It doesn't take long for the girls to realize they are not just a normal boy group. In fact, they are undercover demons. Kpop Demon Hunters is hilarious, heartwarming without giving too much away. There are a lot of heartwarming scenes in Kpop Demon Hunters. I am not ashamed to admit that several scenes had me tearing up, and one full-on made me sob. This story is as much about friendship as it is about saving the world. The girls reminded me a lot of friendships I have had in the past, and have now. It is important to be there for one another when we are needed. At the same time, every single joke landed. The comedy in this movie is top-notch. There are lines that will have kids cracking up, but also ones that adults will understand. We have all had that celebrity or band member who makes us sweat and makes our hearts pound just by looking at them. Kpop Demon Hunters leans into that relatability perfectly. Kpop Demon Hunters features a plethora of catchy songs. It should come as no surprise that a movie called Kpop Demon Hunters has a lot of featured songs. These are all original, with popular Kpop group Twice lending their voices to one. Stay through the credits for some fun behind-the-scenes clips. Each and every song is memorable and catchy. They are brilliantly performed, often added to epic fight sequences or grand stage performances. One song in particular, I will not tell you which one, is part of what had me crying my eyes out. Not only do I need this soundtrack now, I need it on vinyl. Please and thank you, Netflix. The battle sequences are epic. Speaking of the battle sequences, this is one place where Kpop Demon Hunters really shines. As many of them take place during a song, there are strategic dance moves used to take down enemies, something that is a lot of fun to watch. Of course, when the girls and boys go head to head, the action is at its best. The animation is stunning. The animation in Kpop Demon Hunters is gorgeous. You only need to look at the trailer to figure that out. When we are following the girls, for the most part colors are bright and fun. The scenery pops with pinks and purples. For the boys, the backgrounds and designs are a lot darker. They are demons after all. On that same note, the design of the demons is fantastic. Whimsical at times, terrifying at others. Kpop Demon Hunters is an absolute blast. This is one that viewers of all ages will have a good time with, but, as expected, the key demographic is tweens, teens, and adults that love pop music. Get ready to fall in love with most of the characters, even those you love to hate. Have tissues handy and keep your fingers crossed for a sequel. There are a lot of places this story can go when they aren't selling out stadiums. Pop superstars Rumi, Mara and Zoe use their secret identities as badass demon hunters to protect their fans from an ever-present supernatural threat. Together, they must face their biggest enemy yet, an irresistible rival boy band of demons in disguise. Kpop Demon Hunters will be playing in select theaters and will start streaming on Netflix on June 20th. Number 2. K-pop has become such a global music phenomenon that it's a wonder its groups haven't been tapped to star in more Hollywood movies. Netflix has somewhat rectified that with an animated musical that has seemingly come out of nowhere to become one of its most popular offerings ever. Take that, Adam Sandler. It's not hard to see why. Kpop Demon Hunters delivers not only a cornucopia of earworms whose melodies will be lingering in your brain for weeks, but also a fast and funny genre mashup that puts most theatrical animated releases to shame. Considering that the accompanying soundtrack album has been conquering the charts as well, sequels are all but inevitable. Release date, Friday, June 20th. Netflix, cast, Arden Cho, An Hyo-sop, Mei Hong, Ji Young-yu, Yeonjin Kim, Liza Koshy, Joel Kim Booster, Daniel Dae Kim, Kan Jang, Lee Byung-hun. Directors, Maggie Kang, Chris Applehands. Screenwriters, Maggie Kang, Danya Jimenez, Hanum Kim, Chris Applehands. Rated PG, 1 hour 35 minutes. The titular heroes are the superstar girl group Hunter X. Be advised that's the last time I'll be typing that name. Consisting of Rumi, Arden Cho, Myra, Mei Hong, and Zooey, Ji-young-yu, were introduced to them as they're traveling on their private plane and preparing for a concert by gorging themselves on ramen. Unfortunately for them, the entire crew happened to be demons, so the singers quickly whipped themselves into action, dispatching them to the rollicking tune How It's Done. The group, you see, is the latest in a long line of female pop music trios whose role, besides entertaining the masses, is to maintain and strengthen the Hanmoon, a magical barrier that prevents otherworldly monsters from doing their worst. Rumi's bandmates are unaware that she is a half-demon herself, something known only to their manager Celine. Yeonjin Kim, the leader of the demons, Gwema, Lee Byung-hun, Squid Game, is understandably frustrated by his singing opposition, so he readily accepts the suggestion of Jinyu, An Hyo-sop, one of his minions, that he form a boy band to counteract the girl group's popularity and steal their fans, not to mention their souls. The resulting 5-member group, the Saja Boys, are so hunky that when the girls first see them, they react in typically cartoonish over-the-top fashion, their eyes transforming into everything from hearts to six-pack abs. Parents looking for confirmation that boy bands are secretly evil will finally have proof. Jinyu, who has a tragic past as a human, recognizes that Rumi is half-demon, but keeps the secret to himself. He forms an alliance with her to sabotage the Saja Boys so he can remain in the human world, but complications inevitably ensue. Got all that? It doesn't really matter, since the film, co-directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, bursts with so much visual and musical energy that you won't feel the need to follow the intricacies of the plot. Rather, you can simply enjoy the infectious tunes, including Golden, Takedown, Your Idol, and Soda Pop, that will certify your K-pop credentials beyond Blackpink and BTS, as well as the dazzling CG animation, incorporating a variety of styles including manga and anime, that proves particularly effective in frenetically paced combat and dance sequences. A Sony Pictures animation production, Kpop Demon Hunters visuals frequently recall the company's massively successful Spider-Verse films, albeit with a significantly broader style when it comes to the characters. The voice performances are consistently engaging, with veteran actors Daniel Dae Kim and Ken Jeong lending their talents and the singing provided by such musical pros as Ajae, Audrey Nuna and Disney mainstay Lisa Longa, Aladdin, Mulan. Best of all, the brisk proceedings clock in at a brief 95 minutes including credits, in contrast to such bloated animated efforts as Niza 2. Number 3. At some point in human civilization, we decided that the logical next step after K-pop idol was Demon Slayer. Maybe it was inevitable. After all, if you can survive a world tour, synchronized choreography, and the wrath of K-pop stans online, what's a little movie about hellspawn combat on the side? That's the pitch behind Kpop Demon Hunters, Netflix's glittery fever dream of an animated action comedy where stage makeup doubles as war paint. It's part girl group fantasy, part supernatural smackdown, and 100% Kelsa in the best and occasionally weirdest ways. It sounds ridiculous and it absolutely is, but somehow, it works, mostly. So let's talk about what Kpop Demon Hunters actually does with all that glitter and astral energy. To begin with, there's lore. Ancient, magical, girl power lore. Long ago, 3 women fought off a wave of soul-devouring demons led by Gwema, the Demon King. Their voices, charged with raw emotion, formed a barrier called the Han Moon and sealed the underworld shut. Since then, each generation has passed the Micah and the monster fighting to Tessa to a new trio of chosen idols. Wait, the power of music, a broken bar, and fighting demons, a broken bar. That kinda seems familiar. Fast forward to today, that legacy lives on in Huntrix, the hottest girl group on the planet. They're your new favorite demon-slaying trio. And yes, it's time to pick your bias. Myra Mayhong is the edgy rebel. Rumor has it she once wore a sleeping bag to the Met Gala. Zoe Ji Youngyu, the Burbank-born rap goddess, delivers bars as sharp as her weapons. And Rumi Arden Cho, the group's emotional center, carries a tragic past and a secret even she barely understands. Naturally, we meet Huntrix in classic idol fashion, slurping down instant ramen en route to the grand finale of their world tour. The stadium is packed. Fans are screaming. Their manager, Bobby Kan Jeong, is losing his mind. Why the delay? Their plane was hijacked by demons. What follows is a mid-air brawl that sets the tone. Kinetic, flashy, and choreographed to slay. The animation leans heavily into anime territory, with bold lines and stylized movement. If you've seen Riot's KDA videos, the DNA feels familiar, and honestly, we were hyped. The girls crash into the arena, strike a pose, and launch into a high-energy performance while still swatting away the last of the demons. As far as entrances go, 10 out of 10. Blackpink might dap them up respectfully from the VIP box. However, beneath the glamour and glitter, something darker begins to stir. Rumi has always known about her demon blood, but Myra and Zoe don't. As her own marks resurface and her voice begins to falter, the pressure quietly builds. She's not just battling monsters on stage, she's battling herself, and if she can't hold it together, the group might fracture entirely. Meanwhile, a flashy new boy group enters the picture, the Saja Boys. 5 flawless men, perfect hair, jawlines carved by the gods, and yes, they're demons too. In fact, their plan is simple: steal enough fan energy to collapse the Han Moon and unleash Guamal back into the world. With Huntrix faltering, the Saja Boys start to eclipse them completely. The world isn't just in danger, it's getting distracted by six-packs and the new Gochujang sauces. So, how are Rumi, Myra and Zoe supposed to fight back against a group powered by shame, insecurity, and sheer thirst trap energy. At its core, Kpop Demon Hunters isn't just about vanquishing monsters, it's about confronting the ones you carry inside. The film explores shame, identity, and the fear that if people saw the real you, they'd walk away. For Rumi, that fear is all-consuming. She believes that if she hides the truth, she can protect her group and her legacy. However, by bottling everything up, she's slowly silencing herself literally. As a result, her voice begins to falter. Her greatest gift becomes her curse, not because of what she is, but because of how deeply she believes she shouldn't be. The film suggests that healing doesn't come from hiding or even from strength. Instead, it comes from vulnerability and trust. You have to share your whole, flawed self with the people who love you. So when the truth finally comes out, when Rumi's marks reappear and she can no longer pretend, it isn't just a dramatic reveal, it's devastation. Myra and Zoe feel betrayed, confused, and hurt. But that reaction makes it feel real, because closeness isn't about always agreeing, it's about letting people into your pain and hoping they stay. The same inner turmoil plagues Jinyu and Hyosop, the heart of the Saja boys. While the rest play their roles as flashy villains, Jinyu carries a quiet take. Long ago, he made a choice. He accepted Wema's offer in exchange for a beautiful voice that could lift his family out of poverty. Yet once fame arrived, he abandoned Thema, and he's never stopped regretting it. Unlike Rumi, whose shame is about her origins, Jinyu's shame stems from his actions. Still, both characters carry their pain in silence, convinced they're unworthy of forgiveness. And when they meet, it's not as enemies, but as kindred spirits. Rumi sees in Jinyu the worst-case version of herself. In trusting him, she starts to heal. Their duet is Kpop Demon Hunter's most powerful scene. It's not about flash, it's about honesty. Two people, broken in different ways, letting their walls fall just long enough to feel whole again. For a film that's so kinetic and loud, this moment hits the hardest. Visually, Kpop Demon Hunters slays. Sony Pictures Animation, the same studio behind the Spider-Verse films, doesn't hold back. The colors are vivid, the action is dynamic, and the stylized music video sequences explode with flair. Each one becomes its surreal concert moment. Think fight choreography meets comeback stage. For example, one MV-style battle features surreal lighting and shattered crystallized effects. As we said, it's pulled from the distinct KDA style, and other moments are quite literally MVs, but they help tell the story in a cool, flashy way that helps to externalize a lot of the emotions that these characters are going through. And let's not forget the music, because Kpop Demon Hunters delivers more than just fight choreography and sparkly lore. The songs are genuine earworms, slipping seamlessly between fierce performance numbers and emotionally charged ballads. The Saja boys hit single Soda Pop in particular, completely unserious and somehow still a total bop. Yeah, it's gonna get stuck in our heads till it becomes annoying. Still, the film isn't flawless. The third act feels a bit rushed. Character threads that seemed crucial, like Rumi's relationship with their foster mother Selenia, don't get the space they deserve. Their emotional fallout feels underdeveloped. We get hints of tension and disappointment, but no true resolution. It's a shame, because that dynamic had real potential. Likewise, the world building has rich foundations, but doesn't fully land. The lore is fun but underexplored. The stakes feel huge, yet the showdown wraps up a little too neatly. After so much build-up, it ends with more style than substance. Honestly, we'd like the team behind this to maybe do a spin-off to explore more of it, because there is stuff in there that does feel undercooked at times. Even so, the film's heart remains in the right place. Kpop Demon Hunters is vibrant, sincere, and full of chaotic charm. It might be messy in places, but it also bursts with feeling. It's a celebration of identity, girlhood, fandom, and glitter bombs. And it understands that even idols, the ones who seem perfect, have demons to face. It's also worth noting that Kpop Demon Hunters marks another chapter in Sony Pictures Animation's growing slate of Asian-fronted stories. Following A Over the Moon and Day Wish Dragon, both vibrant, culturally grounded animated films also released via Netflix, this movie continues the studio's investment in diverse, emotionally resonant storytelling with global roots. It's heartening to see major animation players spotlighting Asian narratives not just as backdrops, but as central, dynamic forces in genre storytelling. For anyone who loves K-pop, anime, or the idea of your favorite artists wielding crystal blades, this one's for you. It may not be perfect, but like any good idol, it shines brightest when it's being unapologetically itself. K-pop Demon Hunters is currently slaying exclusively on Netflix. The review K-pop Demon Hunters. K-pop Demon Hunters is a vibrant and chaotic animated film that fuses the sparkle of idol culture with demon-slaying action. Though its plot and emotional arcs occasionally falter, particularly in the rushed third act and underdeveloped character threads, it still packs a sincere punch. With stunning visuals, catchy musical sequences, and the heartfelt core about shame, identity, and self-acceptance, it shines brightest when embracing its over-the-top, unapologetic self. For fans of K-pop, anime, and power ballads with emotional baggage, this one's worth the watch. Number 4 Warning: this article may contain spoilers from Kpop Demon Hunters. There may be discussions of violence, as well as cultural identity. Consider when and where it would be appropriate to read this piece. I just finished watching the brand new Netflix animated musical, Kpop Demon Hunters, and not only are the songs stuck in my head, but I'm genuinely moved by the story told from this ridiculous premise. I'm not going to lie, when I first saw the trailer for the Sony Pictures animation feature a few months back, I thought it was a joke and likely to be a movie without much substance that's just capitalizing on the popularity of Halloween. I was shocked to find myself so enamored with this movie within 30 minutes of the runtime. Kpop Demon Hunters is a fantastic love letter to not only K-pop music, but Korean culture in general. It's a movie that outshines the premise, and the soundtrack will also be running on loop in my car for a long time after. Singing and slaying like the title suggests, Kpop Demon Hunters tells a story about 3 K-pop stars that moonlight as demon hunters to protect the barrier between the human world and demon world called the Han Moon. For some crazy reason, the task of combating the demon world ruler, Gwema, has been passed on to a trio of singing ladies throughout history. The current protectors of the realm are a trio consisting of the cool and collected lead singer Rumi, the energetic and bubbly rapper Zoe, and the easily frustrated enforcer Myra. Together they're known as the girl group Contatc. Beloved by their fandom, the group is riding high atop the music charts. If that doesn't sound like a ludicrous plot you'd only find straight out of a webtoon or manhwa, well, that's exactly what I thought too at first. Kpop Demon Hunters will win you over quickly with its self-deprecating humor, but also with its surprisingly deep message about not hiding who you really are inside. Watching this in 2025, I can't help but be reminded of another older cartoon that featured 3 best friends saving the world together and Totally Spies. Early seasons of that show made the 3 leading ladies so likable and fun to watch that is hard to replicate. I do see a lot of Totally Spies here, but just with a lot more emotional depth sprinkled on top. Yes, it won't be an action-adventure without some huge twist that pushes a major conflict between lifelong friends. It turns out that our lead heroine, Rumi, has placed enormous pressure on herself to defeat Gwema once and for all and to banish all demons because she herself is a half-demon. Born out of a forbidden love between her deceased human mother and a demon, Rumi has lived her whole life hiding her demon marks from not only the world, but her group mates at the behest of her foster mother Celine. Her singular-minded mission is further challenged when a demon named Jinu is sent to the human world with his boy band group called Soja Boys to combat Huntrix on the music charts. The successful debut of the Soja Boys and their ability to win over K-pop fans contributes to the absorption of souls that build up the power of the Demon King as they prepare for an invasion. While enemies at first, Rumi finds herself drawn to Jinu as the two bond over her hidden secret that she struggles to conceal from Myra and Zoe. There's a romantic overture subplot here that feels natural and quite sweet to see play out. I'm a sucker for the enemies to lovers genre, and while this isn't fully there and ultimately a bit tragic, you can't have a good Korean piece without some sort of romance in it. Thanks to Jinu's probing, little by little, Rumi finds herself less ashamed of her true self. It's genuinely a touching thing to see at times that I was definitely not expecting to see out of a premise that involves demon hunters and K-pop. Real cultured, you see. Kpop Demon Hunters originated from the mind of director Maggie Kang, who set out to craft a story that was intrinsically Korean. When you have someone with the mentality to craft a story they really want to tell, it usually turns out amazing. That's exactly what we get here. This isn't set in Korea and features Korean culture for the sake of diversification. Instead, it's a love letter and in some ways social commentary by a person who lives and sees how that culture affects her people. The entire theme about Rumi fighting with her self-perceived imperfections and hiding who she really was because she was worried she wouldn't be accepted by others is a direct reflection on Korean culture. That's how I saw it, at least. It's no secret that South Korea has one of, if not the highest rate of cosmetic plastic surgery in the world, according to aesthetic medical practitioner. For much of the movie, Rumi forces herself to work almost religiously to be able to obtain her goal of sealing the honeymoon. The one person who truly knew who she was on the inside was also the same person who told her she needed to never let anyone know. The character of Rumi's guardian, Celine, is a complex one that didn't really get the screen time she needed to fully resolve her pre-notions and beliefs. All of her life, Celine has fed Rumi this idea that only by killing all of the demons and sealing off the honeymoon would she finally be rid of her demon side. She never once considered that Rumi could be comfortable living in her own skin. Even until the very end, Celine was dead set on changing Rumi. While I'm not Korean, I am of Asian descent myself, and I totally related to this idea of an elder commenting on how I should appear and how I should act to fit into their society. Not only did that theory turn out to be false, but she never did allow herself to accept Rumi for who she was. This was the one awkward loose end that wasn't addressed during the 100-minute runtime. While Rumi's groupmates initially shunned her away upon discovering her secret, it was more due to the pain of learning that such a big secret was kept from them for so many years. They were hurt that they couldn't be trusted to burden that truth with her as they saw each other as sisters. That's what makes the finale even more epic when they reunite on stage for the final performance. Golden Music Man, we haven't even talked about the actual K-pop featured in here at all yet. The soundtrack consists of 12 songs, and all of them are bangers. There's so much perception and soulful meaning behind the songs and how they're incorporated into the story. I can't stress just how well executed many of these original songs like Golden and Takedown were to enhancing the emotions and critical moments of the plot. The good musicals seamlessly transition to their musical numbers without it taking you out of the moment. Kpop Demon Hunters knows exactly what it's doing, and you can definitely tell early on. I think that's how I started taking it seriously too. You just can sense it by how well it executes these transitions. I'm not ashamed to say that I know a bit about K-pop girl groups. Back in the day I was a big follower of groups like Era, 2NE1, 4Minute, and Girls' Day to name a few. If you've watched our reviews over the years, you'll likely notice music videos from my all-time favorite group, being used as display test material. K-pop music videos really know how to showcase the beauty of a display with colors popping left and right and visuals you can't imagine out of your wildest dreams. Flash forward many years later, and now my 10-year-old niece and her middle-aged aunts are completely obsessed with Stray Kids and BTS. Kpop Demon Hunters just gets fandom. I can't even say it's parodying fandom, because it's portrayed so accurately in the film. From scenes of the fans describing their biases, the different age groups of fans, and the rapid release live stages of K-pop groups, all of these things in the K-pop business are so accurately illustrated. You can't have a movie about K-pop without a legitimate K-pop group representing the industry either. Kpop Demon Hunters turned to Jang I-an, Jihyo, and Chae from the popular group Twice to legitimize the film with the Takedown track. Like I said earlier, all the songs are great, but I personally found Soda Pop and Golden to be the runaway tracks that you'll be humming along for weeks after watching. Original ideas. There's just so many positives to talk about with this film. I haven't even discussed the animation yet. Sony Pictures Animation is quickly developing a solid reputation for artistic creations that are displays of art. The Spider-Verse Spider-Man films are one thing, But to have a film like this also run along those same creative lines, I don't see any other studio pushing the art form and taking risks like this. This isn't a movie that is easily pitched or animated, yet they produced it beautifully. Scenes are sharp and vibrant with music video quality a broken bar while music videos being incorporated cleverly. Sony's found a formula that absolutely works and they should stick with it going forward. I also wanted to applaud Netflix for distributing this. In an age literally littered with sequels that reached double digits, or refreshes of dead franchises, a wacky original concept like this is a breath of fresh air. Netflix has greenlit some projects that most certainly would not have seen the light of day in traditional cinema or cable television over the years. Credit must be given where credit is due, and for Sony to sell this to Netflix is a huge deal for creativity and originality in general. Come backstage. With that said, however, I don't believe we've seen the last of Kpop Demon Hunters. The creative team behind this project is just too talented and passionate not to continue with these characters that they've created. There's not a lot of world building in terms of details, but that's not really the point of this story. I never once thought of what the scientific explanation of their lightsaber weapons was, or why the two human girls somewhat have superhuman superpowers. How does the hand moon actually work and what really causes it to be a barrier? They don't really explain a lot of these things that normally would drive me mad, but because I was so distracted by the music and the surprisingly emotional story, I didn't find myself asking these questions until after the credits rolled. Whether it being picked up as a Netflix show, or a sequel film, I'm not ready for the Huntrix to go on hiatus. If anything, I'm highly anticipating their comeback stage, and I really didn't expect to be a stan of Huntrix, but here I am. Bravo Netflix. Number 6 warning. This article may contain spoilers from Kpop Demon Hunters. There may be discussions of violence, as well as cultural identity. Consider when and where it would be appropriate to read this piece. I just finished watching the brand new Netflix animated musical, Kpop Demon Hunters, and not only are the songs stuck in my head, but I'm genuinely moved by the story told from this ridiculous premise. I'm not going to lie. When I first saw the trailer for the Sony Pictures animation feature a few months back, I thought it was a joke and likely to be a movie without much substance that's just capitalizing on the popularity of hauling. I was shocked to find myself so enamored with this movie within 30 minutes of the runtime. Kpop Demon Hunters is a fantastic love letter to not only K-pop music, but Korean culture in general. It's a movie that outshines the premise, and the soundtrack will also be running on loop in my car for a long time after. Singing and slaying like the title suggests, Kpop Demon Hunters tells a story about 3 K-pop stars that moonlight as demon hunters to protect a barrier between the human world and demon world called the Han Moon. For some crazy reason, the task of combating the demon world ruler, Gwema, has been passed on to a trio of singing ladies throughout history. The current protectors of the realm are a trio consisting of the cool and collected lead singer Rumi, the energetic and bubbly rapper Zoe, and the easily frustrated enforcer Myra. Together they're known as the girl group Huntrix. Beloved by their fandom, the group is riding high atop the music charts. If that doesn't sound like a ludicrous plot you'd only find straight out of a webtoon or manhwa, well, that's exactly what I thought too at first. Kpop Demon Hunters will win you over quickly with its self-deprecating humor, but also with its surprisingly deep message about not hiding who you really are inside. Watching this in 2025, I can't help but be reminded of another older cartoon that featured 3 best friends saving the world together and Totally Spies. Early seasons of that show made the 3 leading ladies so likable and fun to watch that is hard to replicate. I do see a lot of Totally Spies here, but just with a lot more emotional depth sprinkled on top. Kpop Demon Hunters has become a surprise pop culture phenomenon for several reasons. The Netflix animated musical tells a compelling story of female friendship, centered within the exciting and increasingly omnipresent world of K-pop, weaving in various fantasy elements, and it's all available to watch over and over on a global streaming behemoth. Yet the key element of that success is the film's music, full of anthems that help move the film's story forward. while also standing on their own as replay-worthy K-pop hits. The songs of Kpop Demon Hunters have been able to transcend the film and become crossover hits. The soundtrack currently boasts a whopping 7 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, due in part to its pedigree and sonic diversity. A team of songwriting and production experts molded the soundtrack into a well-balanced collection of K-pop hallmarks, from the heartfelt ballad to the high-octane group single to the chest-thumping rap track. Meanwhile, the two fictional groups at the heart of Kpop Demon Hunters, the virtuous girl group Contatc and their villainous boy band counterparts Soulja Boys, provide each track with personality and narrative stakes. Throw in a few extra tracks to round out the project, including a pair of songs from real-life K-pop superstars Twice, and there's no wonder why the Kpop Demon Hunters music has resonated across platforms and demographics. While the entire soundtrack is soaring commercially and worth perusing, some of the songs from the film have become clear standouts since its release. Here is Billboard's ranking of all 12 songs on the Kpop Demon Hunters soundtrack. While the Kpop Demon Hunters soundtrack contains 3 previously released songs, the true outlier is Path, an airy, lightly swaying bit of early 70s psych pop from the Asian band Jokers. Path is a lovely deviation from the full-throttle K-pop on the rest of the soundtrack, although the song serves as more of a change-up in aesthetic than a highlight of the project. The instrumental closer to Kpop Demon Hunters soundtrack is slightly real KPDH heads only, but it's still a sweeping and transportive 3 minutes of orchestral strings, pounding drums and bring me to life-esque piano. It's an invigorating and cinematic enough listen that it might just inspire you to play back the whole set over again, as opposed to the Twice version of Takedown. The Contatc rendition that appears in the film carries a greater narrative weight. A line like "When your patterns start to show, it makes the hatred wanna grow out of my veins," for instance, hits harder because the character of Rumi is the one singing it while trying to hide her own patterns. Both versions of Takedown sizzle with trap drum urgency, though creating a rap-inflected diss track for a family-friendly animated film must have been a difficult tightrope to walk. But Takedown works in multiple contexts. Still, the song, as of publishing though perhaps not for that much longer, on the Demon Hunters soundtrack with the most Spotify plays is South Korean duo's Melomance's Sweet City Pop Indebted Love, maybe, previously familiar for its usage in the hit 2022 rom-com series Business Proposal. In Demon Hunters, its smooth electric piano and syrupy vocals make perfect sense as the sentimental soundtrack to Rumi locking eyes with Jinwoo for the first time and then taking a comedic slow-motion spill as he lightly bumps into her while passing by. As the unofficial ambassadors from the IRL K-pop world to the Demon Hunters verse, it was only right that one of superstar girl group Twice's better original numbers be included on the soundtrack. Strategy doesn't play a particularly integral role in the movie or its plot, but its broken-down romantic plotting over its Neptune's reminiscent clang and shuffle beat fits right in the OST, irresistible enough that you don't even particularly miss the excised Megan Thee Stallion verse. To introduce Soulja Boys as the out-of-nowhere competition to Contatc, the film needed a song unapologetically catchy enough to sound like an instant smash, and scored with soda pop, complete with a fast-paced beat, smooth like butter vocals and even a TikTok-ready sound effect. The song is as immediately refreshing as it can be, clicked open and fizzing, while also making Soulja Boy's dreamy appeal immediately clear. Yet compared to the best Contatc songs, which are rooted in real emotion, soda pop can't help but lose a bit of its flavor. Kicking off the soundtrack with its version of Hunter/X's This Take aimed at Soulja Boys, Twice provides an authentic pop star sheen to Takedown that turns the aggressive lyricism slightly more elegant, and ultimately more satisfying than the film version. In particular, Jae absolutely shines on the second verse. It's a takedown, "Ma take you out, you break down like, what?" she raps, snarling through every syllable. Although their original track Strategy also appears on the soundtrack, Takedown is a more effective gateway to Twice's overall appeal for unfamiliar listeners. In the tradition of recent Disney ballads like Let It Go and How Far I'll Go, what it sounds like functions as a turning point through the main character's moment of realization, a swelling in stature after a sparse beginning. and reaching a climax that redefines its greater context. The key difference is that, after Rumi starts the song by shedding her insecurities, her Hunter X group mates join her, their voices coming together to proclaim, "The song we couldn't write, this is what it sounds like." The result is a powerful riff on a well-used template, as the trio's collective and individual journeys reaches a culmination with a galloping pace and lump-in-throat emotion. Opening a movie about a global K-pop girl group with a hit that recalls Blackpink's world-conquering aesthetic was brilliant. The hard-hitting production on How It's Done perfectly supports its various movements, from rap to three-part harmony to even a touch of spoken word. The latter part underscores how, despite being pop stars and demon hunters, Hunter X are also just girls. A broken bar for the most part, heels, nails, blade, mascara/fit check for my napalm era. How It's Done is not only the perfect introduction to the individual strengths of the three members of Hunter X, Rumi's soaring vocals, Myers' choreography and cool factor, and Zoe's raps and lyrics but instantly amps up viewers for all that's to come. In the story of Kpop Demon Hunters, Your Idol has been designated as the villain song. The mask is fully off Soulja Boys by the time they perform it at a stadium show that's literally soul-sucking, and the 5 members of the demon boy band spend the track convincing their listeners that being evil is a hell of a ride. That gleefulness is part of why Your Idol has become a surprise smash off the soundtrack, but the song also carries an intoxicating edge to it. This quintet is a collection of bad boys, after all, and Soulja Boys have devilish fun offering their audience a sense of danger. The only traditional musical number in Kpop Demon Hunters, Rumi and Jinyu don't sing free on stage or as part of their respective pop groups' catalogs, but just as emotional spillover moments where what they're feeling about themselves and for each other is too intense not to express in song. Luckily, Free justifies the outpouring. EJE and Andrew Choi's voices intertwine beautifully on an overpowering chorus that packs all the release you could ask for from a song about letting go, and the result feels halfway between the Chainsmokers and Halsey's Closer and Aladdin's A Whole New World. The song that's positioned as a pop smash in the film has rightly become the same thing in the real world. Golden, which acts as a through line for the film's underlying message of embracing all parts of yourself, is rich with lyrical meaning, about battling the literal demons in the movie and the less tangible ones in life. The genius of Golden, however, is spreading that substantial message through unassailable pop style, with gargantuan melodies that are delivered through arena-worthy vocal performances. The takeaway of the film is tightly packaged within a 3-minute pop song, and after being teased throughout Kpop Demon Hunters, the full song is finally delivered. It was well worth the wait. The musical adventure has become the streamer's biggest animated original and its songs dominate the charts. School is out, young audiences are available, and yet still, Hollywood animation is having a bad summer at the box office. In contrast to last year, when Inside Out 2 and Despicable Me 4 occupied 2 of the season's top 3, and combined for about $2.7 billion worldwide. It seems entirely possible that not a single fully animated movie will crack the top 10. Adding insult to injury, the Disney Pixar original Alio has been trounced by live-action remakes of Lilo Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon, which faithfully reproduce old cartoons with bland new actors and CG visual effects. With younger audiences steered toward those movies and seemingly also welcomed into big tent hits like Superman and Jurassic World: Rebirth, it's all the more remarkable that Netflix has somehow managed to have its biggest animated movie ever. Kpop Demon Hunters, about a trio of women who form a pop group while moonlighting as, yes, Demon Hunters, was released in June on the same weekend as Elio, no less, and has become a soundtrack-selling, replay-friendly phenom. Netflix numbers can be opaque, but there's confirmation in Golden, a centerpiece song from the movie, hitting number 2 on the Billboard charts. When was the last time a Disney movie made a play for Song of the Summer? Animation seems like a safe bet for budget-conscious streaming content. After all, the much-lamented cost of a movie ticket is tripled or quadrupled when bringing a family, and then maybe tripled again if they want snacks. On a per-person basis, streaming a new cartoon is the more affordable option. But even after poaching filmmakers from major animation studios, The streamers have struggled with original material. Netflix's The Sea Beast isn't anywhere near as good as Mona, with which it shares a co-director, and it's over the moon. The directorial debut of Glenn Keane, a longtime Disney animator, is downright ghastly. Spellbound, from Skydance's attempt to start their own animation house led by the disgraced former Pixar honcho John Lasseter, arrived with barely a peep last Thanksgiving. Most of the time, the Netflix charts are dominated by older animated titles from established studios like DreamWorks and Illumination. So why did Kpop Demon Hunters break through? Maybe it helps that it isn't an in-house Netflix production. The movie was actually produced by Sony Pictures Animation, the studio that worked such genre-bending magic with the Spider-Verse movies. Kpop isn't quite as ambitiously style-forward as that series, but it shares the same basic visual approach of intentionally choppy but eye-catching, shape-shifting animation that imitates both comic book splash pages and anime, splattered in purple and pink hues. It's not clear when Sony decided they would pursue a streaming release, but Netflix previously distributed the similarly manic and original The Mitchells vs. the Machines when the pandemic delayed its planned theatrical release.